So I'm continuing with some modifications on the forge. I was a little unhappy with the volume heat that was coming up here when the forge was off and cooling. It just took hours and hours to cool, which is nice, but all that heat was coming up and it was bashing into my, it was heating this whole assembly up here, and I didn't want it to cook the two valves or really wear out the burner tip prematurely. So I had this pipe nipple and this elbow, so I added that in there and turned to 90 with it, and this still does get hot, but this over here stays much cooler, so I'm happy with that. Also, my compressed air is working great. However, the air compressor I have here is a Craftsman 150 psi machine. It'll keep up with it, but I mean, it drops down to, after working with the forge for about an hour, I can't keep this above 60, so it's working and working and working. It'll do the job, but it's running all the time, and if I burn that out, I'm going to be a little upset. So I mean, it's not there as an ornament, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and try and come up with a blower option. I've seen some shaded, I think they call it a shaded pole blower, which would be nice to have, but $45 to $50 at least. And I have this Craftsman electric blower, which is pretty cool, and I'm trying to figure out how I can make that work. So what I've actually done is I had an old extension cord here that I don't use, and I bought for $5 a dimmer switch, and it's just an on-off dimmer switch, and I've been playing around with this to get the speed I want out of this fan. So if I figure out how to mount this fan on the forge, I should be able to use that to provide the air instead of the compressor, and if that goes kaput, then who cares? So, but I'd really have the shaded pole blower. I've seen a couple other people using those, and they really look like they work. But this is free. I found this thrown out years ago, and so I'm gonna give this a shot and just see how it works. There's not a whole lot to it. I did struggle with this initially because I had this wide open and the dimmer switch wasn't working very well. But it's a two-position blower, so if I use the first position, it works much better. So let's just see if I can make this work now. So that's the first position. There's the second position if you pull it all the way up. So if I just click it to the first position, I can bring it way down to almost nothing. So then I can turn it up. So we'll probably use that first position there. Like I said, this was $5 and I had all the other material laying around, so I'd rather have a different blower, but we're going to try it. What the heck. Alright, so I'm pretty excited. I made a fair amount of progress here. I think I got her all worked out. What I did was take off that valve that I had like this over here, put the elbow in it. I had this great big 3/4 inch valve here, and I've never had a use for it, so it's kind of nice. I can use this. I had to go buy an 8-inch pipe nipple, and we just brought her down, and this is the cool part. What I ended up doing was using some conduit here at the end, an elbow that I had laying around, and this is a I don't even know what you call it. It's like a coupler with a this is like a hose clamp here and here. It's like actually I think it's called a reducer or whatever. Anyways, you couple pipe together with that rubber fitting, However, the tapered end fits real nice into here. And then I had this plastic reducer. It goes from 1.5 to 3/4. Just stuck it in there, and just like that. That fits in there pretty good. And this just slips over the end. And once you stab that in there like that, it's pretty good. I'm going to actually, believe it or not, use a little duct tape here and here. And yeah, that's it. This it's not 100% finished off yet, but I just used some cable ties there to support this, and then I took this piece of conduit, leftover conduit I had, and stuck it through the brackets there, and then through the handle. Give this some support, and yeah, it works. So I'm going to take this and put it up here. I can put it down real low, or I can crank it way up. And I left this valve in here because I wanted to be able to fine tune it. So if I can't quite get it the way I want it with the fan there, with the dimmer switch, then I can use this to fine tune it, you see. So, anyway, I'll finish stabbing this thing back together and fire it up. Okay, so we're working with 5 psi there of the propane. And the fan isn't even working a sweat up there. Kind of neat, I can tune this up a little bit more, I think. But it's a nice blue flame, and I cut it back a little bit, and it turns to green. I think that's pretty much what I'm shooting for. That's pretty nice. And like I said, that fan isn't even working up a sweat. It's kind of nice because the air compressor going off all the time is loud and noisy. Listening to that rattle in your ear. This is a little quieter. It's you know, come to think of it, probably uses a little less electricity too. They both use electricity to produce the airflow, but at any rate, that's working pretty good. I'd say that's pretty successful.